Good afternoon. Welcome into the Fan Happy Hour. Dusty Hera as Luke Anderson is out for the Thanksgiving holiday. Across the glass, Casey Smith. What's up, Casey? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, boss man. How we doing?
I'm doing well. Look, this is a ghost town in here. Right around like noon, everybody went out. Sales staff, management, everybody. Ghost town. You and I, the only people in this building right now.
Last man standing.
They all went out to go and celebrate the holiday, have a little team bonding out there. I don't know. I don't even know where they went, but they're out doing the team bonding thing, making sure they kick off the holiday the right way. The roads are already going to be busy.
Yeah, not looking forward to that drive home.
I'm not a huge sit-in-traffic person. I don't think anybody is. I think if you are a sit-in-traffic type person, you got some deep conversations that you need to be having with yourself about where you're going and if you want to be there or not. Right? A lot of people like, I really don't want to go home. Traffic, not the worst thing in the world. All right? Just take some inventory of that. All right? But be safe out there. It is Thanksgiving tomorrow. Are you a big what does the Smith family do Thanksgiving wise?
Thanksgiving, we big feast. Smith likes to cook, so the pops likes to whip up the turkey. My mom will do the potatoes and all the pies and all that, and I sit back and eat.
I love that. I love that for you and your brothers and your whole family.
I'm looking forward to it.
Look, behind the curtain here, I know your family. I know both of your parents.
Very well.
I've known both of your parents for almost 40 years.
Yeah.
I've known both of your parents. And my dad coached your dad at Lewis and Clark College. So I've known the Smith family. I bet you guys do eat well.
Yeah. Yeah,
I bet Pops is getting down. I bet your mom too. You said mom with the pies? I'm in.
Yeah, she goes crazy on the pie. She'll make I don't know if she has this year because she has a little bit of a knee injury, but she's probably going to cook up at least 2 or 3.
You got to fight back, fight through. Hey, play hurt. She's hurt, not injured right now.
Every year we fight for a safety pie, which is an extra pie that you eat the night before Thanksgiving.
The night before?
It's a safety pie.
That's not how the safety pie works. So the safety pie is keeping the other pies safe from the family?
The definition of the safety pie.
Yeah, okay. It usually, like, the safety pie, in my mind, we have a pie in the event all of the other pies get eaten, then Thursday night, and then maybe Friday. Maybe Friday we go eat that pie. No, the safety pie in the Smith household is just like, it's like a bait car to see if you guys are going to take the bait. And then all of a sudden, it's like, hey, you guys, you're not supposed to be eating this pie. I know you have zero self-control. You're a poor mother. She is in a home. You have 3 brothers and your dad, and she has to go safety pie. How many Thanksgivings did you go ruining the pie situation for Thanksgiving by eating it the night before?
I think we've begged for a safety pie for at least a decade now.
And she finally gives you the safety
finally
pie.
Caved like last year, maybe the year before.
I love this text on the fan text line, 503-864-6326, how you can be a part of the show today. She's going Willis Reed on those pies. You're damn right.
Yep.
Everybody thinks mom's done. She's down for nuh-uh. She's going to come out of the tunnel. The crowd's going to go wild, and those pies are going to be there.
Say rise back like the Undertaker.
You guys have do you have the person in the family that maybe drinks a little too much, says something that riles somebody up at Thanksgiving?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you have that person? All right.
Usually it's me.
Okay. That's good awareness out of you. That's really good awareness out of you.
I like to start a little bit of chaos.
Yeah, because I'm just here to tell you, if you don't have that person in your family, it's you.
Yeah. I realize I'm like, it's me.
Yeah.
It's me. I start the chaos.
Yeah, it's me and my family. I know it. I'm here for it. Everybody knows. Look, I'm going to say some things. People are going to have a great time. somebody may get in their feelings off of something that I say, and I'm sorry. So pre-apology, how about this? Safety apology from me.
Safety apology.
Safety apology from me. I'm sorry. I'm going to get out ahead of it the day before. My family, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I didn't.
They're just words.
Yeah. Well, no, it's more of a, oh, that's a question you didn't want me to ask. Okay, my bad.
Oh, didn't know I was poking the bear today.
My bad. My bad. I didn't know that was out of bounds. Maybe on everybody, maybe on the placemat, you have everybody just go and maybe write down something that should not be said. That's a bad idea. As that came out of my mouth, I instantly regretted saying that because that means I would immediately bring that up. That would be my conversation starter right there. Maybe just give me some prompts of things you would like me to ask you about. And that way, if there's any downtime, I won't ask the question that gets me in trouble.
Leave a list on the
else.
front door and let me read that list beforehand.
That's right.
Myself for a good 5 minutes before I walk in.
That's right. That's right. All right. Yeah, this text. Joe Fisher will be the guy to rile. Will be the rile up guy at my Thanksgiving tomorrow. Well, if Joe's going to your Thanksgiving, he 100% will be. He will be. He will be.
He told me he doesn't have his kid for the weekend, so he's going to enjoy this Thanksgiving.
I'll tell you what, right here, right now, if you are that person at Thanksgiving, it helps if you're also a person that can diffuse situations, right?
It's a necessary trait.
I enjoy one of the best parts of being on the West Coast. Our sports viewing is elite. We have the best sports viewing time zone in the country. Low key, one of the great things that we also have on the West Coast is social media on holidays, because we get all of the videos of Thanksgivings gone wrong from the East Coast, and they start trickling their way over. And as the night goes on, you get to see the guy who gets placed at the kiddie table flips everybody's table over. Kids are crying. Mom is at the main table crying. He's like, I'm not a kid, Mom. And she's like, this is exactly why you're at the table. Those videos, I'm here for all of them. That's how I unwind on Thanksgiving night. It's the greatest way, because usually the third game of our NFL triple header, it goes sideways and it's a terrible game. We may have a good one with the Bengals and the Ravens, especially if Joe Burrow. Well, you're saying yuck because you're a Steelers fan. Okay.
It'll probably be a good game.
It has every opportunity to be a really good game.
AFC North divisionals are always a heated one.
But we're usually we may be like, all right, I'm done. Like, I'm tapping out. The worst was when the Lions were terrible. And then we had that crossover of the Lions and the Cowboys equally being terrible. So we had horrific games in the beginning of the day. And it really, like, we had a Seahawks 49ers night game on Thanksgiving one year. And I remember getting to that night game being like, I've been looking forward to this all day. And then realizing I've become numb to terrible football. And I couldn't enjoy it properly. I think
that's why I've avoided watching a lot of Oregon State Beavers this year.
Yeah. All right. I'm sorry. We'll have a little bit on your Beavs today.
I hope. I just hope that we
You hope what?
I hope that we can at least get what I need to get off my chest about how I feel about this team right now.
You can. We'll allow that. It's like an early Festivus.
We're hurting.
Yeah,
in
you
many
are.
ways.
The way that you frame that, though, Casey, that encapsulates how everybody is viewing Oregon State's fan base right now, is that you were very dejected, but you just said, I hope. Like, it was like I
had to will myself to say those words.
I don't have faith in this, but I hope. It's there. It's there. I feel for you, man. I'm so sorry. Are you a celebrate the night before Thanksgiving guy? You're young.
Yeah, so all of my friends are doing a little Friendsgiving thing, and I'm going to be cooking up for a lot of people.
Oh, you're cooking?
Yep.
So you got to get busy when you get back.
Yeah, the second I leave here, I'm putting my apron on and I'm going to work.
Whoa. Well, bless you, man. Like, look at you. Kids are so different these days. Like, when I was your age and when I was in college, because you graduated from college last spring, right?
Yep.
Yeah. When I was your age, in college and in the years ensuing, nobody was doing what you're saying. Like, nobody was like cooking and doing a Friendsgiving. We'd just meet at the bar.
Yeah, that's what
we
we've
would
done for
do.
the past few years. But
Okay.
I think last year we did our
Look at you.
annual, first
Domesticated.
Friendsgiving. Had to kick it off.
Look at you guys all grown up and stuff. Look at that. All right. Well, I look forward to tracking down your social medias tonight, Casey. Seeing what regretful posts you may have that might get deleted in the morning.
Probably not.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. All right. Today is a sad day. Do you know what today is the end of?
I do not.
Today is the first day in 49 of them that we do not have a football game, NFL or college.
I didn't even realize that.
49 straight days
Wow.
of football ended last night. This is why I say I love Maction. I appreciate Maction. I appreciate the Fun Belt too. Because those fan bases, you say, I hope, and you are very sad. There was nothing more sad than flipping on the Western Michigan at Eastern Michigan football game last night and seeing 15 people in the stands because Mac gave us the gift of football on a Tuesday night. We had Bowling Green at UMass. UMass, by the way, 0-12. That is the worst football program in the country. Don't think it's particularly close. They wouldn't even be close to the top 25 of FCS football.
No.
I will say this. I believe that there are several D2 schools in the country that might beat UMass.
I think there are a few JUCO schools that
Damn.
could have a nice little shot.
Yeah. But we had Bowling Green, UMass, Western Michigan, Eastern Michigan. That wrapped up 49 consecutive days of football. Today, we have a day off, and then we start back into it. Triple header tomorrow.
Nice little
with
slate
NFL.
for us.
It is a good slate. We'll get into that. A little bit. We also, today, we've got to get to Daily Buzz. We will talk about the Portland Trailblazers, hometown team, in action tonight. We will get to Thanksgiving do's and don'ts. Text us, 503-864-6326. You can comment in the YouTube chat, youtube.com/1051 The Fan. We are live on the YouTubes. Watch the YouTubes. Subscribe to the YouTubes. Smash that button. Subscribe. And then the fan text line here. Maybe we'll open up to a Q&A. We already got some questions coming in. We'll just do a Q&A today as well.
I'm with it.
All right. And then, Casey, you said you have to get some things off your chest about Oregon State.
Yeah, Oregon State's in a little
right.
bit of a spitfire, but let's rally the troops for one game.
I'll support you in this journey. All right? We'll be Casey's therapist here. And then
I appreciate it.
We also have Oregon-Washington that we need to get into as well. The college football playoff rankings refreshed yesterday, so we'll get to that. So we're just getting started. Daily Buzz. We go around the stories that you may have missed. This is the Happy Hour with Luke Anderson without Luke Anderson. Dusty Hara, Casey Smith in with you on this Wednesday afternoon on 105.1 and 1080 The Fan and the Fan Sports Network. No, it's not. Dusty Hara in for Luke today. Casey Smith on the other side of the glass. Time now for the Daily Buzz. The Trailblazers back at it tonight, hosting the San Antonio Spurs in the NBA Cup. 7 o'clock tip-off at Moda Center tonight. With a win, the Blazers can clinch Group C of the Western Conference and will advance to the quarterfinals for the first time in the NBA Cup's illustrious history. Well, this is the third year of it. Despite being in first place in the group, the Blazers have a negative 18-point differential in their group. That's because of a 24-point loss to the Rockets.
Yep.
And a win by 2 and a win by 4. If they win tonight, they advance. So, suck it, group of death. The Blazers could be in the quarterfinals of the NBA Cup, and I'm here for it.
And Spurs are without Castle and Wembanyama.
Look at that. And Shane Sharp has been upgraded to questionable for tonight.
Yep, I believe so.
Look at that. All right. So, NBA Cup. Catch the fever. We're gonna hoist a cup banner. I know that a lot of people try to say that the NBA Cup means something. Mo Wagner tried to let us all know that something means, or the NBA Cup means something last night. It was like, Detroit wanted to go. I want to go to Vegas. Well, of course you want to go to Vegas, but do you want to win the NBA Cup? Sure, you want to have a little extra money. Does it mean anything? No. A lot of people will point to, all right, well, hey, it was a jumping off point for the Pacers, measuring stick for the Pacers. I think the Pacers were going to be good no matter what last year.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think this is going to be like the Blazers are now going to be a Western Conference contender if they advance in the NBA Cup, if they go to the NBA Cup final. Nobody's going to believe that. The reality is Blazers are fun to watch right now. I enjoy watching this Blazers team, and I haven't been able to say that for years. It has been really hard to watch the hometown team. It was a franchise without direction for a long time, and then without star and without serviceable pieces that made sense together. This year, it makes sense. Injuries have absolutely depleted them, but they are fun to watch, and they need shooters in the worst way possible. And that's why it's like, cool, if they win a tournament at this point in the season, awesome, great. That won't change that you need shooters to be sustainable and successful in the NBA. They don't have them right now.
Yeah, what does that change when you go bring in 2 new guys come December?
Not a nothing. All right. Oh, it's not. You got to have to play the buzz thing.
The Buzz.
My widgets aren't working over here. All right, the coaching carousel in college football, Jim Mora Jr. is going to Colorado State. Great hire for the Rams. Did you see what Nick Saban had to say on this?
No, I did not.
He, when told that on the Pat McAfee show that Jim Mora Jr. was leaving UConn to go to Colorado State, the great Nick Saban said, why would he do that? I think if you're a Colorado State fan, that means you made a great hire. You made a great hire.
Yeah.
Colorado State has some funds. They low-key got some money to stash in their pockets there. And with Jim Mora Jr., he's a guy who knows how to win. He is a really good coach. UCLA has some regrets about firing Jim Mora Jr.
I bet.
And now you look at, he comes into this new rebuilt Pac-12, and that's a great hire to kind of start this new era and iteration of what Colorado State football is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, we saw, what was it, one of the most watched games in college football a few years ago was Colorado State.
Yeah, that had drama in it, man.
So I think that's just going to add to, their program and let them start flourishing.
There is a part of me that says, even though Colorado State is in the Pac-12 and Colorado's in the Big 12, you look at the momentum that Dion and the Buffs have lost, they could be better.
Colorado
sooner
State
rather
could
than later.
Easily pass them by and take that entire wave with them.
That's crazy. All right, but staying in the Pac-12, Oregon State in the coaching carousel update. Kerry Agers reported that Paul Chryst a couple of days ago has taken his name out of the running for the OSU job. The coach at North Dakota State was rumored to have some sort of connection. He signed a big extension at North Dakota State. Justin Wilcox reportedly said thanks but no thanks to a interview opportunity. And now it appears to be a two-man race for your Beavs in their next head coach. Jamarcus Shepard, Alabama wide receiver coach. He followed Kalen DeBoer from Washington down to Alabama, so he has familiarity with West Coast. He has found diamonds in the rough and been able to recruit them. This is a guy who has coached under a lot of successful people, both good and bad. Some not great guys, but good coaches. He has been through it. He comes from a long line of really good coaches in the coaching tree that he comes from. But Jamarcus Shepard, and a lot of people are going, well, why would he want that job? Well, it's a head coaching job, and you're a wide receivers coach. Reality is wide receivers coaches usually don't get opportunities to become head coaches. Dabo Swinney was one of them. He was an interim at Clemson. They gave him the head coaching job. It's really hard to grow from a wide receivers coach into a head coach. Sometimes you got to take these big leaps like this one. PJ Fleck is another guy who kind of made that from a receivers coach into a head coach. It's few and far between. Most of these guys are offensive line coaches or they're quarterbacks coaches that go into offensive coordinator roles. If you want to make that jump and you feel like you're ready to be a head coach, you got to maybe take a job that people go, huh? So Jamarcus Shepard is one guy rumored to be a finalist, along with Brent Vegan, the head coach at Montana State, who we talked about on Monday.
Yeah. Again, I like Vegan a lot. Go get this Alabama guy.
Oh,
Look at the Alabama wide receiver room over the last decade.
Yeah.
He produced a Heisman out of the receiver room.
Well, he was at Washington.
He was at Washington.
He was at Washington, but it's not like their receiver room was any slouches. Denzel Boston, who is currently up there, the three-headed monster that they had with McMillan
and
Polk and Adunze. Yeah, the guy has done a really good job coaching that position.
And if you're OSU, we know that you can get O linemen and D linemen. Let's go get some talent.
All right.
Let's go get some talent.
Okay.
How about it?
Yeah, Jamarcus Shepard, he was under Willie Taggart at Western Kentucky. But if there's one thing that Willie Taggart can do, it is recruit. Okay, we got that. He also coached a little bit under Mike Leach, apparently. And so we have that.
Was that
connection.
when Leach was in Washington?
No idea. I just had read that somewhere. Do not know what that. And then he was at with Bobby Petrino and Jeff Brom at Western Kentucky, and then at Purdue after that. He went and he was the interim coach, Washington State's wide receivers coach. So he was offered it, and then I don't know. He knows knew Mike Leach. But he's a guy that has got a really good track record, connections to some of the more successful guys in the field. So you want Jamarcus Shepard.
Yeah, because I think we have to change up our identity a little bit. We can't just keep running for 200 yards a game because we're going to get beat by teams that can recruit better than we can.
Okay.
And how we have to do that is get as much talent as we possibly can, start letting it fly, put up 40 points a game.
What makes you sad? What makes you sad right now, Casey?
What makes me sad is that it still hasn't been decided yet. And I think the longer that we keep playing this, it might be this guy, it might be that guy, the less options we're going to end up having. I think if we don't, by the end of the month, if we don't have a new coach, we're going to be in a big problem next season.
Okay, spin zone here. Thanksgiving's tomorrow. What are you thankful about the Beavs?
I'm thankful that. Oh, geez.
Wow.
This is a really tough one.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for the great journalists that do cover our Oregon State Beavers. That's about it.
Damn. Baseball. Thankful for baseball.
Thankful for baseball.
There you go.
See you in the springtime, but that's about it.
All right. We need that buzz liner.
The Buzz.
All right, Frank Ragnow's coming out of retirement, and he's going to rejoin the Lions. Lions' offensive line has regressed this year. It's not just because of Ben Johnson going to be the head coach of the Chicago Bears. Frank Ragnow, the starting center, all-pro center for the Lions, he retired. In the middle of that offensive line has been an issue. He's 29 years old, retired last year, coming out of retirement to rejoin the Lions, but he won't be available tomorrow against the Packers. You don't come out of retirement and say, you know what I'm going to do? Go start in the NFL tomorrow. So Frank Ragnow coming out of retirement. The Packers, though, will have Josh Jacobs back. He missed last week with a knee contusion, and he's back at practice, active. He will play tomorrow.
They still found a way to run the ball without him. Emmanuel Wilson had a nice little game rushing the ball.
It turns out, your offensive line being good really affects how many yards you can rush for. Way to go, Packers. Figured that one out. You got that one done. All right, and that will do it for the Daily Buzz. Good job, Casey. We had to adapt. My buttons aren't working over here. I have no idea why. I'll try to configure my widgets as soon as I possibly can, but I am not connected to them, so I can't play any sound, which really isn't a problem because you're going to be playing the sound in the next segment, where we're going to do a little whip around. We got a lot that we need to get to. We'll dive into a little bit of the Oregon-Washington rivalry, which is coming up on Saturday. This is the last day that we're going to have live local shows before game day for Oregon and Washington. And then we got some NFL newsies, notesies as well. But first, let's walk on over to the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk.
This is a Rivalry Week edition of the Fan Happy Hour with Luke Anderson, brought to you by Roto-Rooter. Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This sports update is brought to you by Grand Central Bowl Arcade and Sports Bar, your Ducks game day headquarters in Portland. First on the Fan, it's Thanksgiving Eve. And Dusty, the Detroit Lions have played in 85 different Thanksgiving Day games.
Oh, really?
How many games have they won?
Of 85?
Of 85.
22.
They are currently 38, 45, and 2 on Thanksgiving Day, making them the team with the most wins on Thanksgiving and the team with the most losses on Thanksgiving.
Well, I would hope you'd have the most wins if you played 85 of them. My goodness.
But still have a losing record of 38, 45, and 2.
Well, yeah, being that far under 500 and playing in that many games, hats off to you, Detroit. Way to go, folks.
For more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for Seahawks football. Let's listen in.
Let's listen in. Let's listen in.
Let's listen in.
All right.
There'll be a lot of the same messaging from that standpoint of go out there and do your job is the best way you can control. And I know that our guys are going to be a high level of emotion in this game. They're going to have that. But it's definitely an important rivalry to us. This game means a lot. It's probably the number one question I get asked when I'm out on the road with donors and support groups and talking about our university is about this game. It's one that I struggled with early on when I was here. To start, they had some success against us, so it means a lot to me. It's one that I want to have success in, and they're well coached. I mean, Jed does a good job. They have good players. They've done a really good job in talent evaluation. Their quarterback's playing as well as anybody right now. Got good wideouts, got good back. I know they've been a little banged up. It sounds like they're getting healthy, similar to us. We've been banged up. So ultimately, though, you see a complete team, and then two fan bases that don't like each other, which makes it fun.
Dan Lanning, the head coach of the Oregon Ducks, talking about the rivalry and what it means to him playing the University of Washington. We can read between the lines on that. Hell yeah, I want to beat UW. Dan Lanning, you hear every single one of those pregame speeches on the Ducks versus them and how he will pull any thread. See Oklahoma State in the comments of Mike Gundy earlier in the year where he squeezed every ounce of juices he possibly could out of those comments. Where Mike Gundy was just trying to get his fan base and his boosters to maybe open up their pocketbooks a little bit more for the Cowboys program. And Lanning went and damn near put a 70 spot on Oklahoma State. This one doesn't need to squeeze any juice out of this. There is bad blood. He, of course, wants to win this game. He lost to him 2 times in 1 year and lost his first 3 chances against the Huskies.
Yeah, I think he says it more in the rest of the clip, but he says, just go out and do your job. And that's all Oregon needs to do. Washington is a team that if you just go out and do their job, they'll be crushed by the third quarter. Yeah,
there's a lot that goes into this game. This is going to be a really good football game. Both teams fighting the war of attrition in the game of football, where a lot of injuries are playing a role heading into this game. Washington appears to be getting healthier. Oregon is battling the injury bug. We saw 3/5 of the starting offensive line either going down or not playing, or playing sparingly in the game against USC this past week. The receiver room is banged up as well. It's an uphill slog when you're in late November now, staying healthy and playing at your highest level.
Besides the obvious, which is the quarterback, clearly.
Yeah, I mean, the quarterback's different, but the quality of the quarterback's the same. They're both NFL quarterbacks that are exceptional. I would say their defense is a year older. It's the same edge rushers that they had a year ago. They're just a year older. Their safety that they got from Purdue that played for Coach Walters, I think is outstanding. They have a freshman corner that is elite. I think they had really good corners a year ago. They have a ton of depth, where I see that Oregon has separated themselves in a lot of ways in comparison to a lot of teams is their depth. Their roster is national. They have a ton of players from, I brought it up in our meeting when we're looking at they got 2 guys from Maryland, 2 guys from Texas, guy from Indianapolis, a guy from LA. They're kind of all over the place. They're able to recruit nationally, and they've signed a ton of high quality players. So it is going to be an all day sucker on Saturday.
Jedd Fisch, head coach of the Washington Huskies, on Oregon's roster. Defense is a year older. A lot of those guys, and you mentioned the edge rushers. Look, last year, Damon Williams Jr. in his first start, it was against the Oregon Ducks. He was sacked 10 times by 8 different players. Now Jordan Burch is gone. There's a lot of names that are gone into graduation, but at the same time, Mateo Uiagalelei and Tatum Tuioti, the 2 guys that he mentioned that are a year older, they are back. The safety that played for Coach Walters that he's talking about is Dylan Thieneman, the Purdue transfer. Ryan Walters was the head coach at Purdue a year ago. Thieneman is one of the best safeties in the country. He talks about the roster of Oregon being, from a bunch of different states. I think it's like 28 different states and 3 different countries that are represented on the Oregon roster. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. If I'm going to read the subcontext there, it is that Oregon is good, and we know everything that everybody's been saying about this roster being really damn good. They're a national recruiter. They go in span from coast to coast to try to find the best players in the country, whether it's in high school or the portal. Yeah, this is a really damn good roster that Oregon has.
Yeah, my biggest takeaway was the fact that he called Williams and Dante Moore comparable. I think they are comparable, but you look at strength of schedule and you look at the performances, and what's the most important stat for a quarterback? It's a win. And what's their record? So I don't think you can call them as comparable, probably as Jed Fish probably wants to believe, but he's got himself a pretty good quarterback.
DeMond Williams Jr. at Washington is really damn good. He's just a sophomore. He is a puppy. He is going to be he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the country. He is small. He does get himself into a lot of trouble, but that comes when any quarterback under pressure, they have their issues. And that's the biggest growth is, all right, is he making the same mistakes repeatedly? And for DeMond Williams Jr., it happens, man. Like, he does repeat a lot of the same mistakes over and over and over again, where he tries to create too much time, holds on to the ball for too long, ends up taking sacks when he should just turf it, live to play another down, right? Well, you're not going to be able to do that against this Oregon team, which does not have a ton of sacks heading into this game, but where they make life a living hell is on quarterbacks that hold on to the ball for too long. And that is going to be the thing for DeMond Williams Jr. He's got to get rid of that ball quickly.
There was a sign in college game day this morning from an Oregon fan that said extend Lincoln Riley's contract. What are your thoughts on the fact that Oregon fan base cannot believe that fact in the red team? You don't think it was
That might be the dumbest question I've been asked as long as I've been a head coach, and I've been asked a lot of questions. You ought to feel a little embarrassed to ask that question. This is a professional thing. You ought to try.
Lincoln Riley ripping a reporter for asking him, or kind of saying, I don't really know what this reporter is trying to say, that other teams don't really see USC as a threat.
I don't
think that's necessarily true.
Okay, now the question itself, I think, was about the fan base, other fan bases wanting Lincoln Riley to stay because they feel like they're going to beat them. Kind of legitimate. The way that the reporter phrased the question, I love Lincoln Riley's response. Like, there are dumb questions. Look, hand up. I ask dumb questions sometimes too, right? It happens. I don't mind if it gets called out. It's like, yep, dumb question. That's on me. But the reality of it is there are a lot of fan bases, especially of the dominant programs, that are like, yeah, we don't mind if Lincoln Riley stays at USC, right? Like, because they have not gotten over the hump and they haven't been able to find in the trenches the guys that are difference makers. And that's that has been the biggest knock. That will be the biggest knock against Lincoln Riley moving forward. At Oklahoma, he had a history and tradition of offensive line play and an offensive line coach that had been there under Bob Stoops that helped kind of usher in the legacy of offensive linemen at Oklahoma. We're not seeing that at USC. They have the number one recruited class in the country, though. Signing day is next week. Now, they have, in volume, they signed, 35 guys, I think, is what they're expecting to sign on signing day. That's a lot of guys, right? They need to start hitting in the trenches, though. Their skill positions, yeah, Lincoln Riley is going to be really damn good coaching his quarterback and recruiting wide receivers and running backs. Finding those guys, not going to be a problem for Lincoln Riley. Where Pete Carroll and USC were so different was they were dominant up front. Both sides of the line of scrimmage, offensively and defensively, multiple first-round draft picks.
When was the last time you had a really good USC linebacker? Because that's a school that has a history of having phenomenal linebackers with Junior Seau, Willie McGinnis.
Yeah.
And you haven't had one since, I think, Uchenna Nwosu, the edge rusher, was drafted.
Yeah, I think that like Eric Gentry, who's there right now, they are really high on him. He had a horrific game last week.
Did not look good.
Did not look good in space against Oregon. He had a tough game, and that, God, I think you're right. I think you're probably right, and that's saying something about SC.
for them to have a signature win to really put them where we thought they deserved to be.
Okay, very quickly, let's go. That is part of the criteria, though. If that were to occur, then that can be part of the consideration in evaluating Ole Miss, right?
It is in the protocol, but I'm not sure we will have a data point to use that as part of the protocol.
What do you mean by that? That you won't have a data, meaning that you don't know what's going to happen with the coaching situation, or you will not have seen the team play without the coach?
Correct.
All right. That's your check, the chair of the College Football Playoff Committee. He was asked by Reese Davis last night about Ole Miss. They fall one spot. And look, I don't blame the College Football Playoff Committee for dropping Ole Miss on a bye, especially when a team behind them has a quality win, because of that unknown. If Lane Kiffin bolts after the Egg Bowl and says, yeah, I'm going to LSU or I'm going to Florida, then absolutely that should hurt Ole Miss in the college football playoff rankings. Now, they may not have a data point to say, we don't know how good or bad this team is with or without Lane Kiffin or without Lane Kiffin. They know how good they are with him. That's your head coach, but it's not a figurehead head coach. He is a play-calling head coach, and that means everything to that Ole Miss team. They are a very good defense, but look, make no mistake about it, Lane Kiffin generating that offense is exactly why they are in the place that they are right now.
Exactly. I always talked about it's not really the X's and O's, it's about the Jimmies and Joes. But I compare this to exactly what happened with when Jonathan Smith left Oregon State. If you are in a position where you're on the way out, your players are going to play kind of the way that you're leaving it out. Jonathan Smith obviously left right before the Civil War game a few years ago. And then Oregon State got blown out by Oregon.
Yep. Well, we've got one more, and it is Thanksgiving related, and that's where we will pick up as we hit one for the road. This is the Happy Hour with Luke Anderson, without Luke Anderson, Dusty Hare, Casey Smith with you on this Wednesday afternoon on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 and 1080 The Fan. Nope, not Luke. Not Luke. Hey, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. We're wrapping this up on Thanksgiving, and that will lead us to our One for the Road.
One for the road.
Thanksgiving triple header, and this is Casey's leftover from our subtext right here.
3 years, second down and goal. Elliott into the end zone. Oh man! For Elliott, that's his 13th rushing touchdown. Emmitt Smith, boy, he can really appreciate that. And the Cowboys lead at 9-3.
I never saw him jump in the pot, though. Watch this combination block right here. Leary's going to go down, and then you get the reach block. I love watching great offensive lines work together and just carve out that big hole. And then you go jump and promote a very good cause down there in the end zone. Salvation Army. Everybody throw something in because there's a good chance Ezekiel Elliott's going to be in there.
You know, had we played that in subtext, you know what the subtext would have been for me?
What?
Al Michaels used to have energy.
Al Michaels did used to have energy.
And we do not see that anymore. Thursday Night Football is a shell of Al Michaels. And that call right there of Zeke jumping into the Salvation Army pot, like those are the memories from like these Thanksgiving Day games. Like when I think of the Thanksgiving Day games, why is it it's not like the impressive performances? Because, you know, like Peyton Manning had like 1 billion touchdowns in one game. Tom Brady had a perfect passer rating. Brett Favre had 20 consecutive completions in a Thanksgiving game. Those aren't the first ones that are come to my mind when I think of Thanksgiving Day football, though they probably should, except for maybe it's because all three of those, they were playing the Detroit Lions. Common thread there with all three of those quarterbacks.
Still got a losing record on Thanksgiving.
The most memorable ones are like the butt fumble and Leon Lett jumping on a ball that was blocked on the Dolphins field goal, allowing Miami to recover it and then get another opportunity to kick the field goal, and then they won it. The Jerome Bettis coin toss where he goes heads, tails, and they're like, Bettis calls heads. Boom. The botched coin flip. Those are the things that you think of on Thanksgiving, not the actual football. Brace yourselves. Bad football coming. All right, that'll do it for us this week. Luke will be back on Monday. All of our regular show is going to be off tomorrow and Friday. Ducks will be on Saturday, 6 a.m. You have Sports Saturday with Joe and Rashad leading you up to Ducks game day, 8 to 10:30, and then the game and the Ducks scoreboard show following the game as well. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you, Casey. And as Luke always says, thank you, Isaac Robb.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You